one producer and one MC. It's gonna have a certain sound. It's gonna have, you know, an organic essence to it and a feeling to it, where you know it's put together right. With this one, me and llmind worked on it for literally a month. It was about 30 days we worked on it. And I think it goes back to the essence of the one producer, one MC concept albums, but I think it takes it forward. So I think Frisbees was a great way to start it off with the album. You know, I knew before I wrote the record, I was like, I want to do a record called Frisbees, and I wanted to be the first leak off the album because I wanted to be where people hear it and they're like, this is what this album's gonna sound like? I bet. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do off top. So I explained it all to llmind. He got it right away. I think he may have played like 2 beats before he played Frisbees. And when I heard Frisbees, you know, maybe 10 seconds in, I was like, yeah, this is it. And Frisbees was just kind of a nod or like a tip of the hat to everybody who doesn't get my music. So I wanted to make a record that, you know, every bar was just bang, 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 like you couldn't catch them. Like every bar was a punchline or was something that went over your head or had double and triple meanings and, you know, different layers of lyricism and you know, vocabulary and weaving words together. And I wanted it to be just rapid fire machine gun, just da da da, like just going, you know what I mean? And you know, I wanted it to be crazy lyricism, but I wanted the hook to be really easy, really simple, to kind of just play on the irony of it all, you know what I mean, and where we're at in the game and where music listeners are at. So I purposely wanted the hook to be really simple, throwing out Frisbees, show me you can catch it, but almost be like a tip of the hat, like, yeah, show me you can catch it, like, I'm gonna throw you these Frisbees, show me you can catch it, and that'll show me that you're ready for what else I'm about to give you and what else llmind and I are gonna give you on this project together. You know, one thing I told llmind when we sat down, I said, I don't want to sound boom bap. I don't want this album to sound boom bap. I don't want it to sound quote unquote real hip hop. You know, I don't want it to sound like what people think those terms mean. Because what people think those terms mean sound like 92 and 93, and that's great. I don't want to recycle, you know what I mean? I don't want to keep doing that over and over. It's just like any other genre of music. You know, I don't think Linkin Park is trying to sound like Nirvana. You know what I mean? I think they're taking those same fans and updating them or making, you know, new kids fans of what they would have been fans of if they were born 10 years prior. So I wanted to do that, you know what I mean? You don't want to sound like what happened already. So when we sat, I was like, I want this to be a hip hop album. I want this to be hard beats, hard rhymes, flying 100 miles a minute, but I don't want it to sound like boom bap. I don't want it to sound like quote unquote real hip hop. And that's not to knock any of those types of records, because I have records like that in my catalog. You know, I'm a fan of records like that. But I just wanted to continue to grow. You know what I mean? You don't want to make an album and then make another album that sounds just like it. I want to do 2010 and beyond. And that's why the first song on the album is a record called Digital Analog. It pretty much breaks that down. And I have a line in there when I say, been on my hand and off, digital analog. This is 86 Rakim with a flip camera on. So it's kind of like, it has that feeling of back then and that authenticity and the rhymes and, you know, just what that means as far as being proud to be a lyricist. So it's like the back then and the future, you know what I mean? All put together. So that one line I think sums up what the MO was with it, you know?